Welcome to the Light Home Sustainable Design podcast series. We talk with the architects and builders about green design and homes that really suit the way we love to live.
Welcome to Light Home. Today we're talking to Peter Spinks. He's from Garden Master and he's going to talk to us about Blackwater recycling. So, Peter, can you tell us a bit about the basics of what Blackwater recycling is?
Well, Blackwater is the sewage and the kitchen waste from your house. And the only way you can recycle it is to put it into a wastewater treatment system, which is an aerated wastewater treatment system. They're a small package treatment plant that we build, and we actually install it into domestic homes in rural areas or unsewered areas.
Okay. And just to begin with, really, what is Blackwater?
Well, Blackwater is all your water from the sink, and which contains fats and different other soaps and so forth. And also sewage. That's what Blackwater.
Okay. And how does Blackwater recycling work? How does the system that you install work?
Okay, the system package treatment plant is all concrete. It's broken into 5 sections, and it holds about 7,100 litres of water. So all the water from the house, from the showers, toilets, washing machines, kitchen sink, comes down into the treatment plant. It comes into the first section of the tank, which is around 3,500 litres, and if you can imagine a household bucket and you put a big divider panel in the bucket, the first side where the inlet comes in, all your grey water and sewage comes in there. While you're going to the toilet, you produce a solid, and in that solid is a bacteria called anaerobic bacteria, and that anaerobic bacteria grows by the billions in that septic chamber, and it eats up all the fats, the hairs, and any soaps, liquids within that chamber. It then runs from there into what we call a 2/3, 1/3 baffle. And if you've ever distilled beer, ginger beer, anything you've distilled, you'll see that the heavy liquid falls to the bottom, light comes to the top. That light liquor then flows to the other side of the bucket. And what we do is we have a compressor, small compressor that sits on top of the tank in an electrical box, and it pumps air down into the second section of the wastewater treatment system, and it creates an aerobic bacteria. So all the bubbles create a bacteria called aerobic bacteria, and as the anaerobic slowly comes through from one side of the chamber to the other, these bugs, anaerobic bugs, eat them all up, and they love it. So basically they'll eat them all up, they actually purify the water, and that side of the chamber where it bubbles away should be nice and clean. It then flows into a clarifying chamber, which is a lot smaller chamber, which is around 300 litres to 350 litres. And we have like a venturi in there, which is made out of PVC pipe. It takes a little bit of air from the air blower that sits on top of the tank, and it sucks any sludgy mud off the bottom and skims any rubbish off the top and throws it back to the septic to be re-eaten. It then flows through a chlorinator. That chlorination unit, the water flows through it. There's tablets, chlorine tablets in there. And as the water flows through the chlorine, it actually kills any bacteria that's left over that hasn't been killed through the aerobic and anaerobic process. Once you get that chamber to about, that chamber runs about 350 litres, but when it gets to about, depending where the pump level, float level switch is set, it gets to about 80 to 90 litres, and then it pumps that treated effluent out into an irrigation area that we install into your backyard, front yard, depending on the council regulations to creeks, dams, so forth. There's regulations of how far you have to be away from creeks and dams. So what we do is we provide a subsurface irrigation, and it's drip irrigation. We put it in with a special machine with a posi track, which is like a bobcat, and a vibrating plough. And what we do is we pull the irrigation in under the ground, and when we're finished, you basically can't even see where the irrigation's been put in. And when you go to the toilet, you go to have a shower, you do a load of washing, everything goes down into the treatment plant. It's totally processed, pumps out automatically under the ground. So Dad can go out and put the ride on over the lawn. The kids can kick a soccer ball around, and that's the end process.
Okay. And is it good for the garden, this irrigation system?
Yes, it's pretty good. You can't have it within 3 metres of your house. You can have subsurface up to 3 metres of the house, but if it's spray irrigation, you've got to be 15 metres away from the house. So you really can't have it like gardens close to the house like many people do in mainstream sewered areas. But you can set up areas of gardens, away from the house.
Okay.
It's very good for the garden and very good for the lawn.
Okay. And does it smell at all?
No, there's no smell because if all the process is working very well, like you can go and take the lids off. There's 4 manhole covers on top of the tank, so you can access. And when you look in, there's no smell from the system, because if people don't use like hospital domestos, nappy sands, exit moles, anything that has a bacteria, or they don't dye their hair at home, and they don't put anything down there that's unfriendly. The system will work very, very well. It'll be crystal clear, and you won't have any problems with it or smells.
Okay. And can anybody have one of these systems installed, or does it matter where you live?
It certainly matters where you live. You can't install one in a local metropolitan area where Hunter Water, like in Newcastle, or Sydney Water, you have to hook to the sewer. But anywhere outside the regional sewer areas, like there's a lot of places in Penrith, there's still a lot of places out on northern beaches. There's pockets everywhere all over Australia, just outside the cities, that need these wastewater treatment systems.
Okay. And are they hard to look after?
We actually have a maintenance program, which is council regulations, state government regulations. We have to service the system 4 times a year. It runs out about $300 a year. That includes all your chlorine. So we go there every 3 months. That includes us going there. It includes all the chlorine replacement. It includes us cleaning filters, checking everything. And we supply a certificate of completion, what we call a QMR, to the customer. And we also supply that QMR to the council to say that it has been maintained. Okay. So it's about $300 a year.
Okay, great.
To look after.
Sounds great. Thanks very much for talking to us through that. That was really interesting.